Howdy to all you trumpet players out there. We're going to go over a few things today in this week's video lesson. First thing, check out the favorite section on our main YouTube page. There's a video there from a drum and bugle corps called the Cavaliers. Back in 2004 they did a really cool show from the music of James Bond. It's a really neat show, and take a look at it. Drum and bugle corps consists of just brass instruments. It's just like a marching band, except it's brass instruments. It's a little bit older age, and it takes a little bit more dedication to do. But yeah, take a look at it. Get exposed to that. Okay. What we're going to learn to do is we're going to learn how to oil our valves. And it's going to be very tricksy to tell you on a YouTube video how to do it, because there's some things that you need to see up close and personal. But if you unscrew your valve, take it out just a little bit, you're going to see a number on either side of this valve. It'll be labeled 1, 2, or 3, corresponding with what valve it is in place. My numbers are on this side, and they face towards the mouthpiece. And that's which way I will put them back in when I put the valve back in. I take my valve oil, unscrew that, and I put a few drops on the silver part. Okay, don't put it on the upper part. Put maybe 3 drops, one on the top, one on the middle, one on the bottom. I know you probably can't see this all that great in YouTube, so I hope that this helps you in at least some regard. Okay, you put it back in the same way you found it. If you put your valves back in backwards, it'll feel like you can't play. Something's wrong with your instrument, and that's the most common thing people do. Okay, so I put the number facing this way. If I turn it 180 degrees and face it this way, I'm not going to be able to play. I'll show you what that sounds like when it's locked in backwards. It just doesn't work. Okay, so if you feel that, your valve's in backwards, and try and figure out which one it is. Okay, so there we go. So repeat that process for all 3 valves. Just take them out. Be very careful with the valves. Okay. For starters, the valves, if you damage the valves, you're going to need repair work done. It's the most sensitive part of the instrument. Okay? So repeat that process for all 3. If you don't feel comfortable doing that yet, you can get by right now by just putting a drop in the bottom. Okay? And ask me for help if you just can't seem to figure out how to do it. Okay? So there you go. Now, on to Lesson 2. Lesson 2 introduces 3 new notes. It introduces the F, which is fingered 1. Okay, that's the first note. First valve. Listen to this F. Not too low. Not too high. Right in the middle. Okay. The next note is the G. Tighten your lips up a little bit more. Contract them towards the mouthpiece. Your lips contract towards the mouthpiece, not pull away. Okay? Here's the G. Okay? If you notice, another note that we already know that's fingered open is the low C. We need to tighten our lips, increase the speed of our air just a little bit. Okay? Next is the A, and the A is fingered 1 and 2. It's the highest note we're going to learn for a little bit. Okay? 1 and 2. Okay? Try and hold out each note as long as you can. Incorporate that in your warm-up. The first thing you do when you take out your horn, play through all the notes you know and hold them out as long as possible. Okay? Now, number 2 of Lesson 2 takes these 3 notes, 3 new notes, and does a very simple melody. Okay? Here we go. I'll play that for you. Okay? Listen to that, play along with it, I don't care, whatever you feel that benefits you. Okay? The next thing, number 3, jingle bells. Jingle bells is the hardest thing that we've learned to date, and it combines the notes that we learned this lesson, 2 of the 3 notes I should clarify, 2 of the 3 notes that we learned this lesson, and all 3 notes of the first lesson. So we don't learn any new rhythms, but combining those notes is going to be challenging for some. So go ahead and give it a bunch of practice, listen to this a bunch of times, play along, and all that good stuff. Okay? Here's Jingle Bells. ahead and listen to that, play along with it. I will see you next week. See you later.